Let's start with our feet about shoulder width apart. Let your knees bend slightly. Let your arms and shoulders kind of hang down low and comfortable. Raise your arms to make a big Valentine heart shape. Get to that bottom of the point. Push down and breathe out. So I just work my way down from the top of my body down to my feet. There's a little bit of, alignment things that we try to do with each part of the body. So when my arms come up, my chin comes up, opening up the airway more in my lungs. Arms come down, chin comes down slightly. So I'm going to relax my eyes, let my vision get kind of heavy. Inhale. Exhale. So after a few of them, you should start to feel like you're getting into kind of a rhythm where this feels like a wave. I'm going to inhale through my nose. Exhale through the mouth. Deep, relaxed breaths. Inhale. Exhale. So when I inhale through the nose, I squeeze the tongue up to the roof of my mouth. And I exhale, the tongue comes to the bottom of my mouth. That again kind of helps with the whole process of helping you to relax. You're following your breath with your thought, kind of puts you in the moment, makes you think about what you're doing. So now I got this wave working its way down. As I exhale, I'm going to squeeze my stomach muscles back. Inhale. Exhale, pull the stomach back. That helps push the breath out even more. Inhale. Exhale. So by now that wave feels like it's coming all the way down my body. My hips are bent, my knees are bent. That lets me tuck my tailbone slightly forward. So again, deep breath in. Wave comes down, I squeeze my stomach, I breathe out. And then if I had a beach ball between my thighs, right between my knees, I just have a little bit of tension. Don't try and touch your knees, but just kind of flex the inside of the thighs here. Inhale. Exhale. Rock back a little bit so you can lift your toes. That puts the weight on your heels, and then squeeze your toes into your shoes like they're gripping onto the ground. And exhale. Let's try 3 more of these, and then we'll go on to the next exercise. Inhale. Feel the wave. Let all your tension dissolve away. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. So that exercise alone, doing it for about 10 times, about 5 minutes or so, kind of drops you into being a little more relaxed, a little more focused, and aware of what your body's going to tell you in the next few minutes. So the next one, I'm going to interlace my fingers and then follow the center of your body all the way up. You get to the ceiling, try and palm your hands to the ceiling. Do a little stretch side to side, feel the back and the shoulders loosen up, and then release. As my arms come to the side, my elbows and shoulders bend, my hips meet, my knees and my ankles bend. And then my hands come around like I'm gathering in front. Breathe in again. And then I breathe out. Same time I drop my arms, I straighten my legs. Feel a little bit of tension on the muscles from straightening. And then I back off, let those joints bend again. So feet about shoulder width, that's good for your balance. Inhale as you're coming up. Exhale as you release. Inhale as you gather in. Exhale as you drop your hands, straighten your legs, squeeze your stomach again. So use your diaphragm to help push the organs back. It gives your organs a little bit of exercise from moving around. So again, inhale, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. Just enough to bend your elbows, your knees. Inhale. Draw the breath in like your hands are being pulled in. Blow out through your mouth as you exhale. Just this little bit of tension on my arms, my thighs, my stomach. And then when I relax, the tension goes away. Inhale. So it's like that constant contrast between being a little tight as we stretch and then releasing and relaxing. That contrast is what helps you to relax more because you can feel where the tension is at. Inhale. Exhale. Just like I'm touching my stomach to squish, but really I'm using the muscle control instead. And then relax. So same thing again, fill the lungs. It's like I can picture my lungs getting nice and long and pulling the breath in. Breathe out. Squeeze your stomach on all the exhales. Inhale. Pulling that breath in with your hands pulling in. Exhale. Push your hands down and away. Lock the knees and elbows. And then back off again. So just that whole process of trying to let your body relax and letting the tension go, very beneficial. You don't realize you have tension or stress, how are you going to let it go? And breathe in, and down and out. Let's do 2 more, and then we'll go on to the next set where we link together some of these exercises. Inhale. Snap, crackle, pop. Sometimes you hear your shoulders, your arms, neck, shoulder, whatever's popping. As long as it's not painful, that's usually good. Breathe out. Just one more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. How quiet it is. Everybody's so deep in thought, and relaxing, thinking about their body. And then a couple kids run through the room and you go, kind of like startles you. And that in itself is a good thing to understand. It's stress that comes from loud noises or loud sounds or bright lights. Our body kind of likes to go with this rhythm. You know, the extremes are where we adjust too much from it, and that's the shock. So what I try to do whenever anything happens like that, I just kind of let it go in one ear and out the other. Just kind of go with the flow. So the next set, we're going to walk a little bit closer to the right side because we're going to do 5 to 6 steps that'll draw us back to the other way. So being that we've been doing this all month, I'm just going to do them all kind of as one whole set here. So feet together, arms cross, roll your wrists. My arms drop, my hips drop. Step to the left. Make a circle above your head with your thumbs up, stretching from my shoulders. And then release the hands, let them drop. We get to about our face. I drop my chin, each part of my spine bends, each vertebrae. Get to the ground or as far as you can go, shift a few times. Stop shifting and come back up 1 vertebrae at a time. You get back to the top, I shift to the right. My left hand waves goodbye, my other hand goes by my elbow. Wave goodbye and shift to this position. Lift up your legs, set your foot down with your heel, and reach with both hands to the wall. And then back off and let your weight sink. Step across. If you can turn your hips and your feet, your right foot goes to the front, your other foot goes down the ball, I scoop and try and touch both walls. And then back off. Hand to my hip. My left hand waves goodbye and scoops. Like I'm scooping up some sand. I keep my wrist twisted. My forearm has a little tension. Stretch. And back off. Right about here, I make sure my right foot goes to that corner. Come back to the cat stance. I balance. Set the heel down as I come down. Stretch. And then back off. So whenever we back off, I drop from my hips. So that's the whole set. Gets us over to this side of the room. Doing the same thing going back. Roll your wrists, sink down, step out. This is a deep inhale, exhale. Inhale again, exhale as you bend your torso, shift a few times. Feel a tension in your back, your legs kind of dissolve, back up. Now to go to the other side, I wave with my right hand, Left hand by my elbow, wave goodbye, scoop up. Now if you want to be able to balance better, take your left leg and bend it a little bit more so you're lower. And then lift up. Step and reach, stretch, sink from the hips. Step across or step over and across, and then I scoop. If you can reach all the way down to the ground, try to, and then straighten up. Look left, straighten your arm and legs, sink down. Now I look to the right. Scoop, if you can reach, bend all the way to the ground with your hand. And then stretch, reach for the wall, and back off. Left foot and knee are going towards the corner. Here's the cat stance again, balance. Step with your heel, stretch, sink from your hips. So that got us all the way across. We did both sides. So now I don't have to talk as much. We just kind of roll through it and do it a few more times. Roll, inhale, exhale. And at the top, exhale as you bend. If you can let your top of your head point down, that'll take some of the tension off your neck. And then back up. So do the shift, wave goodbye. The amount that you lift that leg is going to determine your balance. If you can go higher and higher and higher, it's going to be a little more difficult. And then down, breathe out, and sink. Step across or over. Turn your hips to the front if you can, scoop. So here I straighten my arms and legs, and back off. Scoop, stretch, and sink down. Here's that balance again, as high as you can go. And then the heel, stretch, and sink. So with each step, you're just trying to think about your body, think about what you're doing. Deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. And at the top, out as you bend. As many breaths as you need to at the bottom, and then back up. Wave goodbye. Try to balance. Stretch. Sink. Step across or over. Scoop as far as you can, slowly up. And down. In. Out. In. Out. You can do one more time there and then back, and then we'll go on to the next thing. So hopefully everybody's getting more relaxed, more comfortable. Maybe you feel certain parts of your body more than others. That's good. Down and out. And now you might be reaching further to the ground. The spine gets longer. Exaggerate the big circle. And breathe out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. So you can always take more breaths, or your pace might be a little off or different from mine. That's fine. As long as you're not holding your breath, you should be fine. Breathe out. In. Out. Back up. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Finish it up. Slide in, take a deep breath, make the big heart shape. Breathe out right away. Do another one of those. A little slower. Another, even slower yet. So you kind of get your breath back under control. Get the oxygen back up to your brain. Relax. All right. So sometimes you'll notice, like when we're bending, I tell you breathe out when you bend or when you're twisting, because it's more natural. Not here yet, is he? Stuck in traffic. So in general, you kind of let your body help you. If you're holding on to a big ball in front of your stomach and you bend, it's going to bind you up and you're going to have restriction. It's your breath inside your lungs that's going to restrict you too. But sometimes, like I'll say, the inhale and the exhale, and it ends up, we're kind of here, and I say inhale. So it's like, oh, I'm already squished my lungs. Your body will adjust. You'll be able to do what you need to do. It's just kind of a general rhythm that you try to get into. More advanced levels of doing these things, you make the breathing totally opposite of what you're doing with your twisting. So you can try to inhale as you bend, where it does make you feel bound up, but as you get more confident doing it, your body starts to adjust where you're moving, but your breath isn't moving in your body. And if you do that when you're not comfortable with it, then you go, oh, I'm kind of lightheaded, Jim, and then you fall over. So for the most part, you inhale like when you're pulling in, or like you're scooping up, you're inhaling. You usually exhale as you're pushing away, going outward. But it isn't always that way. Just want to clarify that. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to put my feet about double my shoulder width. I'm going to scoop my left hand to my right shoulder and then come out. So I'm making 2 half circles here. The bottom half of the circle, the top half is horizontal. If that's all fine, I put my hand on my hip and open it up just so it's loose. Scoop and then come out. You notice my chin drops as my eyes follow the hand. It's like there's a string attached from my hand to my chin. If that's all fine, my hips start to move wherever my hand goes. So here to the right side, to the left side. So I get my hips shifting side to side. As I get the deep breath, inhale, exhale. As we keep doing this, you try to relax, try to get the flow going, get the rhythm going. Just a minimal amount of tension. In, out. So say we're getting to about maybe 10 of them on this side. I'm just going to switch over to the other side now. So we'll do each side individually and then we'll do them alternating. So I scoop and shift. Inhale. Exhale. For the most part, my eyes are following my hand. And that's what's making my chin kind of go up and down, which is making my spine either be kind of straight or a little bit arched. In. Out. So that gets us doing the right side or the right hand. Now we can do an overlap. So as we come around to the side and I shift, right away that's my left hand scoop. And breathe out. One comes up, one goes down, in, out. So now we have a little bit of coordination involved. Timing. My definition of coordination is your mind telling your body what you want it to do. And this is what I'm trying to do, is smoothly move, breathe out. In, out, in, out. So let's try about 3 more. In, out, in, out, in, out. So from here, this was a horse stance. I'm going to slide back. Now I'm in the bow stance. My front foot stays straight. My back foot's on an angle. It's kind of like a triangle if you look at it from the side. And if you go back to your geometry days back in school, there's strength in having triangle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move my hips, though, from front to back so the triangle kind of shifts. So we'll be doing that, but we still got the same part with the arms. So I scoop and then go out. Inhale, exhale. So the arm motion's pretty much the same. Instead of the hips going side to side like the last one, I go front and back. So when I scoop, shift to the back leg. Push away, shift to the front leg. In, out. This one we can only do it on one side at a time. It doesn't have an alternating left and then right. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So hopefully everybody's staying relaxed. Their arms and shoulders might be getting a little heavy. The more relaxed you are, the more comfortable it is. So once again, let's do about 2 more. And then we'll go on to the other side. Inhale, exhale. To get to the other side, I shift back, let my left foot pivot out, and then I just step forward. So now I have that same triangle, that bow stance on the right side, front and back. So to get started, hand at the hip, scoop to the shoulder, push away at the top. Inhale, exhale. Shift back if you can, and breathe out. My eyes are, keeping an eye on my hand, but I don't need to turn my head like all the way down to here. Just kind of glancing with my eyes going down and then out. Inhale, exhale. In through your nose, out through your mouth. In, out. We could do it much slower. That develops a little bit more strength in your legs. Do it any faster, then it starts working on your heart a little bit more and cardio, but just trying to do it smooth. So once again, let's do about 2 more. And then to finish it up, I slide in to the right, make that big heart shape again, and breathe out right away. Another deep breath. A little slower on the exhale. Another deep breath. And slower yet. So hopefully within those last few breaths, kind of brings the oxygen back up and you feel like, oh, okay, good again. You feel sweat across your forehead or down your back. It's all different things that you're aware of. I'm aware of them, but I don't let them bother me. You know, it's like, oh, whatever. You know, just go on to the next thing. So why don't we take a few minute break and then we'll come back and then we'll do it again. Relax, take a deep breath. Sink down, draw a half circle. So again, we're just going to run through like a whole bunch of this because we've been doing it all month. Just kind of follow along the best that you can. So a lot of the steps, I'm holding this ball, I'm twisting with it. Flip it over, breathe in, breathe out. Here's the cat stance. I lift up and balance. Hands come down with the leg. One palm up, one palm down. Shift forward and sink down. Bring your hand together with your foot. Make a fist. Put the fist in your palm. Let your shoulders sink. Stand for a moment and then sink down. So for the most part, this set, I have to face one direction until I kind of turn around and show you what my hands are doing because the pattern is very obscure. So here I come across to here. Top of the circle, bottom of the circle. Here's that ball again. Palms up, pinch your fingers. Paint with your hand, sink down. Top of the circle, bottom of the circle. This is the one set really that repeats like every 5 to 10 steps. Do the same thing we did earlier. Spin the ball. This time we twist to the left and step back. My arms are crossed, my legs are crossed. Unwind and sink. This one's like I'm turning a light bulb a little bit. Twist. Same thing going the other way. Turn the light bulb, twist. Hold on to a big tray. Here's that twisting motion again. We end up here. One hand's open, the other's pinched. And draw back. It's like your arm and your leg are attached. You come up and balance, and then come down. So we'll do a few more steps, and then we'll start over, because that's quite a bit. Circle back, and then forward. Here's the tray again. So there are a few exercises that repeat little bits and pieces here and there. Back to there. So once again, just make sure you got enough space amongst yourselves. Deep breaths with each exercise. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If you can balance, you try to lift up. Bend the leg you're standing on, and breathe out. In. Out. In. Out. Just make sure your foot goes straight, and breathe out. So this is what that ends up looking like when we're facing the other way. And then the hands open and go opposite. In. Out. Relax. Yeah, like you're painting with your right hand. Breathe out. In. Out. In. Paint with your left. Breathe out. In. Out. Oop. Back to the cat stance. Back to the balance. In. Out. Cross the legs, cross the wrists. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. So just kind of glance to the corner of my eye so I can see my hands, and then forward. In. Out. The sequence repeats. Breathe out. In. Out. So maybe take a step or two back. So we do repeat this part. On the second one, though, I face the corner, the horse stance, cross the arms. The arms drop. Shift your weight from right to left as you make a fist. Extend out, stretch, and then back off. Top of the circle, bottom of the circle, back to the spot again. All right, so now it starts to take a little different turn here. Cross your arms, shift to your left. Arms come out like you're clearing away in front and to the side. Cross again. Reach with your right like you're pulling, like a lever. Pull it into the horse stance. Both hands are fists. Into the bow stance. Roll your shoulder and then back. Past your face. Past your face. Make a fist. Top of the circle. Bottom of the circle. Here's that ball. Put it on the table. Make a big circle. So it goes my elbow, my fist, my knee, and then they come down together. We'll start over again in a few moments here. Breathe in, out. I push forward, my other hand pushes down. Draw back, push forward, push down. And do that 3 times. In, out. Top of the circle. Bottom of the circle, I step behind, and end up back here again. In, out, in, out. Sweep across from left to right, and then from right to left, like you're holding onto a plate. Balance, and extend. Take a deep breath, and exhale. Can anybody remember all that? I do. But for me, it's like I'm playing a crossword puzzle in my mind as I'm doing it, because I'm thinking of the steps, I'm thinking of the breathing, thinking of the explaining. I'm also trying to keep the spacing so that I'm not trampling over anybody. All of you are doing it at your own level of comfort. Water seeks its own level, correct? So when you're doing it and you're like, okay, I can follow this, and then it gets to a point where it's just too much, you kind of like start shutting down, and just like, okay, I'll just kind of watch and maybe do a little less. In your mind, you're talking to yourself about what you're trying to do. And that is a good thing. That is a healthy thing, because that thought means you're thinking about this and not other things that are not necessarily a positive effect on your life. Hopefully this is positive, but we got to keep doing it. So let's try and do it a couple more times. Relax, everything loose. Inhale. Exhale. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In. Out. Shoulders relaxed, arms loose, and breathe out. In. Out. Tension back to the front. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Not trying to go fast, not trying to go slow, trying to go smooth and consistent. And breathe out. In. 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 Out. Now, if you do want to just turn and just see this from the side, if you want to turn or just do it the same way you're doing it, here's where I go. I look back, and then the knife edge of my hand goes forward. Look back, knife edge goes forward. And that gets us back to here. In, out, in, out. So the same thing again. Knife edge comes forward. And the last one, the fourth one of it, we face the corner. And breathe in, out, in, out, back up just a step or two, in, out. So here's where it goes a little bit different. We cross, clear, breathe out. Cross, grab, breathe out, cross. So it's like 4 times we do a crossing motion with our hands, and breathe out. In, out. So if we can do it, we spin the ball and lift the leg at the same time to get the 3, the elbow, the fist, and the knee. And then draw back. Glance back, look forward. Glance back. You're holding up the earth, like Atlas holding up the earth. And breathe out. In. Out. And then we do the top of the circle, bottom of the circle, cross the legs, cross the arms like we did a while ago. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. So now we sweep like you're coming across, and then across the other way. Hold on to the tray, lift up like you're giving somebody that tray. And then I shift. Here's the hexagon like we did a little bit a while ago. The hook and extend. Top of the circle, bottom of the circle, back to the fist in front of the navel, back to here. Now it gets different again. So I'm going to bring my feet together and picture there's a box of tissues in front of me here. I'm going to pluck the tissue out of the box as I move to the left. I'm going to do this 3 times. 2 tissues, 1 step. Gets me to here. Step forward. I'm going to shift my weight from my left leg forward to my right leg. My hands are just pushing away from my body. And then I'm going to come over to here. I'm going to spin the ball. Knife edge goes out. My other hand comes to my side, and I go to that cat stance. All right. We step across. We scoop. This is like a flower opening up. I swing my leg up, and then I come down. We do the same thing on the other side. I scoop. Here's the flower blossoming. Scoop up. Then I come back to here. So much. How do you remember all this? Top hand's a fist. Bottom hand is the knife edge. And I try to balance. I try to lock out. And then I come in, and like we did earlier, this part repeats again. All the way back up to this thing again. So I just turned to the side so I didn't have to back up. So, and that is about the farthest we've ever gone with that whole set. Mary Jo, 3 more steps, but they're same things as earlier. So for the most part, it's like 108 steps that have 3 or 4 parts to each one. And you might do this here, and then a few steps later, it might be on the other side. Or your feet will switch. You know, we do this step a few times. We end up over here. You know, this kind of repeats. But you only do it on the one side. Why is that? Because the people that figure out how to do this stuff, they studied the human body and nature, and they figured energy goes from one part of the body to the next. It doesn't just go from the heart out with the blood. That's where the blood goes. But the energy actually goes from a pattern like in through your lungs, into the heart, into the next organ, to the next thing. So that's why the movements are not symmetrical. It's designed to get the blood and the energy to move from one part of the body to the next. I find that highly fascinating that people figured that out. Most of the time when we exercise, we try to get the heart moving, and we think everything else gets healthy from the heart moving. Not everybody looks at it the same way. Not every culture. Especially with Chinese, traditional Chinese medicine, they're all about the energy flow and how to keep it moving, keep it in the body. So we got no more time to do it one more time because it takes us about 5 to 10 minutes to do it one time through. So we're going to finish with our feet shoulder width. This is kind of like the closing set that we usually do. We breathe in again, breathe out. Feel that relaxation wave again, in, out. Now I'm going to wrap my arms around a big tree. Like I'm trying to stretch all the joints in my upper body, extending around. Feel that tension, and then back off. Let your shoulders bend, your elbows, your wrists, your fingers, let your thumbs sink. Then let your hips, your knees, your ankles all bend. Pull your tailbone forward, pull your chin back. That's the major joints. It's like a set of 9. I'm going to inhale through my nose, exhale through the mouth. Just like earlier, tongue goes up, inhale. Tongue goes down, exhale. Now if your arms are getting very heavy, especially like in the shoulder and you have pain in the shoulders, let your arms drop down to here. So then you're not distracted by the pain in your shoulders. If your shoulders are good and you can feel it and the pain's just kind of dull and achy, then you can hold it up to here. So let's try a few more. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Let your eyes get a little heavy. Think about your body. In. Think about the breath. And breathe out. Let's do 3 more at your own pace. Deeper. Slower. More relaxed. When we get to the third one, we hold it. We're going to pace ourselves. I'm going to make a ball for the third breath. Inhale. Now, the more relaxed I am, the longer I can hold my breath. If I tense up, then that takes more energy and takes more breath. I come up for a second time. The ball gets smaller. Like we did earlier, I lock my knees, I lock my elbows, I pull my stomach back just for a moment, and then I back off again. So that's a closing set. You know, like when runners do big, marathon or just a long run, they don't just stop right away because the body doesn't feel comfortable doing that, and it can kind of lock up, spasm, cramp up. So when we finish the set, it's like we got this energy flowing out, not just from the heart, but like I said, through one organ to the next. But we want to bring it back down to here. That thing we did like 10 times, that was all kind of like a reset button that kind of brings the energy back to this area. It's like our battery or our bank account. So we got all this stuff moving around. That's like our daily life. We're moving and moving. If we don't put anything in the bank, then we don't have anything to save up for, right? So we finish, we want to put all that energy back here. That's where it goes. We sink down here. We do it 10 times when we do the set. We finish, we do it, 1 time. So that's the whole set. At the end of the class, usually we clap, right? And most of the time in years past or months past, we would say bagua, we clap. Bagua is a Chinese term for a figure 8. And why that has some symbolism, it never begins, it never ends. It's just constant, right? When we first started doing this class, 1997, people asked, how long is the class going to go for? I was like, I don't know, we do an hour. And they go, no, like for a month or whatever, do I sign up? I was like, well, we'll keep doing it as long as people want to do it. So there's no end. And we've been doing it since 1997. So that's symbolic. Bagua just gives you something else to kind of think about. There's been so many new people coming in the last couple months, I really didn't make time to explain that. And it was like, clap makes sense. You clap because you feel good and you did something for yourself, gets the blood moving in your hands again. The Bagua part has a little bit of philosophy to it with the figure 8. So now you know why we would do that.